I wanted to come on really quickly and talk about my next book, book number 3. And I put on my glasses because I feel like it makes me look studious. So that's what that is. I'm working with another amazing illustrator. It's a children's book. So the illustrator that illustrated the first 2, Cameron's Dream and Lauren and the Butterfly, was Christian Bernardini, and he did such a great job. I mean, I'll give you some behind the scenes. He didn't have the text. I just said on this page, illustrate like Cameron sitting on his bed playing with some toys. I sent him a couple photographs of us and he just knocked it out of the park. So I'm super grateful for you, Christian. On this next book, I'm using an illustrator named Yuri Borgen, and I've already seen some of the sketches and the final lines, and she's at the point now where she's going to start coloring it in, and I'm super excited. It looks amazing. It looks so good. So just to talk about this book really quickly, it's a book about scripture. And I wrote this book because I was thinking back when I was younger, and whenever we would go for holidays to visit like family for Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff like that, we would stand around the table and we would hold hands and everybody had to quote scripture. Who is texting me? Oh, we'd have to quote scripture. And like, I didn't know scripture. What am I supposed to say? So I did know that I knew of a short one. It would be like, Jesus wept. And then it was the next person started. So that's kind of how I got through that. But I feel like kids should know scripture. I mean, some of the scripture in the Bible is like crazy long. I get it. But there's some that I feel like if kids knew and understood and could apply to their lives, it would just help bridge the gap between the Bible and real life. So like, for instance, when I was growing up, Bibles, like the Bible that we had was kind of intimidating, right? It was this like big leather bound thing that sat on the coffee table in the room that nobody went into, and like the words were super tiny. It had like that gold flake leafing around the edge, and it was like, real talk, it was a book that I wasn't probably gonna go pick up and read. So, but I know Bibles have changed. Now they have Bibles that are for children, and they've got the cute little pictures in them and all this stuff. So my intent for this book is to just grab some of the scriptures out of the Bible, put them into this children's book, illustrate it, and hopefully give them an opportunity to make it relate to their lives and what they're going through. So for instance, on the pages, there's an illustration of a little boy where he's sad. There's an illustration of a girl where she's like angry. Then there's an illustration of a girl where she's scared, and she's sitting in her bed with the covers pulled up tight, and she's got a flashlight like shining it into the dark, and she doesn't know what's going on. And these are things and feelings and emotions that kids experience. And so for that last example where she was scared, the scripture would be not afraid, for hope. I'm sorry, people know I'm trying to record a video. The devil don't want me to be great. Just, you know what, that's my fault. I should, there, silenced. I lost my whole train of thought. Oh, so she's sitting there with the sheets pulled up, and she's got a flashlight, and she's like looking, and the scripture on that page would be, be not afraid, for I am always with you. So I think that this book hopefully will create an opportunity for kids to read it, and also for parents to maybe sit down with their kids and maybe have the Bible as well as the children's book, and then go through the children's book and, talk about the pages, talk about feelings, read the scripture, and maybe even go back to the Bible and find it in the Bible and let them see, oh, there's stuff in here that I can use. Like for instance, so when I was trying to find which scriptures I wanted to add in the children's book, Lauren walked in. It was like, what are you doing? So I was like, oh, you can help me. So I had all the ones written down that I was thinking about. And so I showed her, I was like, okay, this is how you find it in the Bible. So I showed her how to use the table of contents, and then she would go to the page and then find the book and then find the verse. And so when she found it, it was like the small victory for her, and she would read it. And then I was like, well, keep reading. And so she kept reading, and then it just created a dialogue about some of the stuff that's in the Bible. And, you know, I definitely used it as a teaching moment to kind of talk about, well, when do you think you would, what are some times where you were scared? And, you know, how did you, or don't you feel like, you know, if you, and she knows, what am I talking about? She knows, like, God is always with her. She knows that. But I think in a children's book where it's illustrated, it's better. It's better. What else? It looks like I have, this is Cameron back here. So this is a trip. This was in California when we went to the beach, and y'all know Cameron. So this is actually one of the pictures where, is he making that face? No, he's not. It's hard to tell because it's black and white, but this is one of the very few photos where he's not acting a fool. Anyway, sidebar. So the book is, I'm not sure when it's going to be out because she's still illustrating it, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'll maybe grab some of the sketches and put them down below or on the side or wherever they're supposed to go so you can see what they look like. It'll be available when it's available. As soon as it is, I'll flood the timelines and all the social media. So hopefully you check it out and you purchase it. I think it's a great, great opportunity, again, to have conversations with your kids about stuff that's really important, right? I write faith-based books because I think that our salvation is something that we need to discuss and we need to talk about, and use the Bible. That's what it's here for, to tell us how to get through this thing called life. So I'm gonna stop rambling, but thank you for your time and look out for the book.